Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Appreciate you tuning in once again. Today is Christmas 2025. Want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Of course, this video will be out after Christmas. I wish you a belated Merry Christmas. How's that? One of my Christmas presents was a switch for this 2006 GMC. This truck, of course, you saw it on the channel before. It's had this problem for a good long while, which is common in the 99 to 2006, 2007 model years. And that is the switch. This switch, it only works on auto. You try to turn the lights on, you see out there, there are no lights. Unless I mash the switch in. You see I hit it there one time, the lights come on. Hit it again, the lights go off. So it's a known problem with this generation of trucks. And apparently the cure is to replace that switch. Another one of the symptoms of the bad switch is at night. A lot of times you can be going down the road and all of a sudden all of your instrument panel will just go black. And once again, to get the instrument panel to come back on, press on the dimmer switch there, or the light switch, or whatever you want to call this sucker over here. Sometimes you can press it hard and the instrument panel will come back on. Sometimes you got to press it and hold it in to keep the panel on. The problem I ran into a couple months ago was, of course, here in Virginia we have to have a state inspection sticker every year, which is a pretty little thing right there. But the day I went to get that sticker, I couldn't get my headlights to come on because it wasn't nighttime and they only work on auto. Somehow or another, I did get those things to come on. I pulled off about probably a quarter mile before I got to the service station. I pulled off on the side of the road and pressed around on that dimmer switch, or the light switch. I keep calling it dimmer switch, of course. But I pressed around on that thing, held it in, somehow got those lights to work and passed the inspection. But normally those lights won't work by the switch. It has to be dark, and the auto part of the switch is what makes the lights work. So like I say, I got me a $21 switch. Bought it for myself for Christmas, or I can say, I guess, that somebody bought it for me because I had a couple people gave me money. I got this switch off of the amazing website. It's from SWITCHDOCTOR. Here's kind of what it looks like. First time I've opened the box. It's plug and play. Just plug your existing wiring into that slot there. There's what she looks like. Hopefully it'll be a good match fit in there correctly. Well, let's go ahead and get cranking and pull off the bezel around the instrument panel there. It should just have a few clips that hold it in there, best I recall. Alrighty, get the key. I think we gotta put it down in low gear to get the gear stick down out of the way. I've had these bezels off a time or two. My blue truck, old blue, I had to replace the instrument panel. Actually, I sent it off and had it resoldered, I guess you'd call it. Alright, I'm going to attempt to take this thing off of here. Get my gear stick down out of the way. This bezel should just pop out with a few clips. Not too hard so far. I keep from breaking it. Gonna get it up around that steering there. Throw a light in there and see what's going on. Okay, it wraps down around the back side of that, so should be able just to pull it up and get it up out of there. There you go. It didn't sound good, but I think everything held together. Turn the hazard lights on. Well, you can see here it's got several clips holding in there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 clips. Look there, old Nancy must have put this thing on June the 9th of 06. Gave it a 200% rating. That's pretty good. Let's put that in the floorboard over there. Other side. See what it takes to get this thing out of here. Looks like it's just a press fit in there maybe. I don't see anything, any screws or whatnot. Let me look at the new one, get an idea. No, it's just got a couple bumps on the bottom and one on the top. Couple slide glides on the sides. Well, it should just pop right out of there, I would think. It's got a couple little tabs in here on the bottom. I guess you push down these little tabs right here. I believe would be what holds it up there. Yep, you see it popped right out as soon as I turned it loose there. It slides right on out of there. Got the plug in the back. Got a little tab on the side there. It just falls right in the floor. And we'll get our new one. Plug it in. That's got a little guide down the center, guide on the back side of the wiring harness. We'll slide it in there and then put that back in. Wipe a little dust off the stuff here. Now let's see if the lights work. That should be off. I guess that would be the park lights. Yep. This will be your headlights. This will be your dimmer. I think that there is your running lights, daytime running lights. Alright, we'll get the bezel back on and we should be good. Let's see if I can get the bezel back on now without breaking it. Clean some of that dust off of there. This is how you clean your truck, with your finger. I think that'll be good. Well, got the hazards back on again. There we go. Get everything lined up right here. Pop it back together. Put that back on auto. And that should have that thing fixed. Alrighty folks, appreciate you watching. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll catch you on the next one.